Hey, good morning. Today is Monday, June the 10th, 2024. The time now is 7:22 a.m. So last week I made a video or a program about Nigeria, about Nigeria's president Bola Tinubu and the Nigerian lawmakers basically passing a bill, okay, repealing Nigeria's national anthem. So basically, the national anthem that Nigeria has been using since 1978 was repealed and put in place a national anthem which Nigeria was using from 1960 to 1977 or 78, if you will. So basically, Nigeria's first national anthem, which basically the title of the national anthem, okay, the first national anthem is Nigeria, we hail thee. Once again, Nigeria, we hail thee. And that was the first national anthem, which was written by a British expat, a woman. Okay, now that doesn't matter. But once again, this national anthem, the lyrics was written in 1959 and introduced in 1960. Okay, Nigeria, we hail thee. Now, 1978, the Nigerian military government at the time basically introduced the national anthem, which was the national anthem that Nigeria had been using until it was repealed last week. So the title of the national anthem is Arise, O Compatriots. And I've been looking at sources out there. I've been looking at Nigerian remarks. Okay, people are tweeting, people are engaging in conversation. I even do have two colleagues. One of them, well, both of them, okay, are in their 70s. Okay, Nigerian men in their 70s, and I also have a Nigerian student. The student is in 11th grade. And but anyway, actually he came into the room because he was bringing something for me in the morning. It was around this time, okay, before class. So he came in, I was done and we were talking, and he basically said, "Oh, I heard you talking about Nigeria, the whole thing about President Tunubu changing Nigeria's national anthem, Arise, O Compatriot." And the student basically shared my perspective, which is we have better things to worry about in Nigeria, and this guy is changing a national anthem. And this student is actually smart. It is a student who, in the state exam, I think it's chemistry or math, if I can remember correctly, chemistry or math, the student has a perfect score. Okay, this guy is only 1 year in the country, and everybody like him. All the students like him. Like he just came in and he blended in perfectly. Whether because he is smart or whether because he's kind or he is simple, he's quiet, he's outgoing and well spoken. Okay, and basically he exhibits all the good stereotypes of Nigeria or Nigerians: smart, outgoing, and all that. Okay, with the exception of the loudness. Nigerians are very loud, and I don't mean it in a disrespectful way, but loud in a confident way. And he is a quiet guy, quiet kid. But anyway, I must apologize for deviating. But I have been looking at articles or statements, tweets that people are sending, okay? Conversations that people are engaging in pertaining to Bola Tinubu changing Nigeria's national anthem. Now, in the past video, okay, the one that I did last week, which I basically introduced the whole idea of Tinubu and his lawmakers changing Nigeria's national anthem, Arise, O Compatriots, and replacing it with the first national anthem, Nigeria, We Hail Thee. I did read both lyrics, Nigeria We Hail Thee and Arise, O Compatriots. And what I basically stated, okay, my perspective is that Arise, O Compatriots basically sounds much more revolutionary, okay? It sounds intense, okay? It basically bears echoes, okay, or semblance of the time during which it was introduced, okay, in 1978. Most of African countries were either colonies or becoming independent at the time. Nigeria was going through a lot of things, so the military government introduced that national anthem. Now, Arise, O Compatriots, basically, when you read it, it has lines that are similar to what are in the Nigeria We Hail Thee national anthem lyrics. But they are similar in many ways in terms of the phrasing of the words, the lines themselves, or the message of each lines. And I did state it in my past video or program that Arise, O Compatriots, because it has echoes of a revolution. It is a radical national anthem, which I do believe can entice any young person to say enough is enough. Let's get these people out. Let's fight to bring let's fight to bring a prosperous Nigeria or so. But Nigeria We Hail Thee, it is just poetic. It is one of those national anthem that you just sing for the sake of it. You have a poem, okay, a poetic verse that just sounds so sweet that young students, because in Africa we have devotion in the morning at the beginning of school, and then we basically in our lines we go to our classes, okay, our individual classes, and the student will be singing the national anthem in line, or when they go into their classes singing song and dancing as they file to their classes. So in that case, Nigeria We Hail Thee is in this case appropriate for the fact that it is poetic, it is sweet, it is a romanticized version of a people perspective of themselves, rather than a national anthem that results from a specific particular event, okay, or that which could entice people to go out and carry out revolutions. Now, in terms of the changing of the national anthem, I did state that Tunubu probably do this as a means to distract Nigeria from the feelings of the current system, okay, of his government. Or it is basically an evidence of an intoxication with the old days. But also, I want to add that this changing of the national anthem, yes, it may not be a bad thing, or perhaps the intention was or is to try to remake Nigeria. Now, Nigeria, like many African countries, were named by Europeans, okay? And the names that they basically were given when they were colonies has no traditional or cultural or historic connection, historic ties to the people. I know Zimbabwe used to be called Rhodesia, okay? What is it, after Cecil Road or whatever? Rhodesia, really. And then you have the changing of the name to Zimbabwe. Okay, after what is it, Great Zimbabwe or so? Ghana used to be called the Gold Coast, and then the name was changed to basically honor the African empire, the ancient African empire of Ghana. Okay, Mali took its name from the Mali Empire. So perhaps we may see the changing of lots of the names of the African countries. Okay, maybe we might even have a country now in the future by the name of Songhai or Songhai. I know that's Songhai in Africa. Okay, after the Songhai Empire. So there are lots of names that could be changing. Okay, lots of capital cities that could be changing. Even we have Lake Victoria in Africa. Why the hell is that lake being called Lake Victoria still? Perhaps we may honor, or we should honor Nelson Mandela. Let's call the lake Lake Mandela. Let's call it Lake Zulu. Let's call it Lake Masai or Lake Swahili. Let's call it an African name. Okay? The days of colonialism are long gone. I do know neocolonialism does exist, but the days of colonialism, as it was in the past 100 years or so, or in the past 50, 60, 70 years or so, are long gone. We need to begin as Africans and also people of the global south to reinvent ourselves. Okay? So in this case, perhaps that was what Tunubu was trying to do. But then it begs the question, if changing Nigeria's national anthem is a way, an attempt, a drive, a move by Bola Tinubu and many who share his perspective, okay? If this was a way to basically reclaim their Africanness, then why change a national anthem which was introduced by a military government, a Nigerian black African military government, and replacing it with a national anthem written by a white woman, British expat, that is so poetic, but I do not even think the Nigerian people have any connection to such national anthem. Yes, in the national anthem, it talks about our native land. And it is very interesting that in this case, a British expat writes a national anthem lyrics that is talking about our native land. Okay? So, if changing Nigeria's national anthem, Arise, O Compatriots, and replacing it with another national anthem, the first national anthem, Nigeria, we hail thee. If that was a drive, an attempt, a move by President Bola Tinubu and those in Nigeria, in his government, who share his passion and his perspective, then why fast track the process? Why fast track the process and basically not allowing a thorough, fair, and inclusive conversation, discussion in the country, throughout the country, in the parliament, and among the people, Nigerian people, whether we are talking about Nigerians at home or Nigerians abroad. It is their country. Why is it that African leaders continue to make stupid decisions, continue to act as if they are dictators? Bola Tinubu was elected democratically, and he is making move that is basically just embarrassing and disappointing. You have no right changing the country's national anthem. As good as it may be, okay, let's assume that Bola Tinubu's attempt, his action, was a trustworthy action that he wanted or that he wants to remake Nigeria, then do so in an inclusive, slow, but in a manner that encourage every Nigerian and every Nigerian in the government, in the parliament, to participate. You should not fast track a system or a process and then reinstating a national anthem with a previous national anthem, which nobody remember the lyrics, not even you, the president. Or perhaps let's assume that Bola Tinubu had been practicing the national anthem by himself during the course of trying to repeal Arise, O Compatriots. And then he basically went last week into the legislative session, and he basically is singing the national anthem, making himself look good because he basically knew the words because he had been practicing. But other officials basically just humiliated themselves because they knew no words of the lyrics. But once again, perhaps it's a good thing that the national anthem should change, and that maybe in the future there let's assume that Bola Tinubu and many in Nigeria, whether in the government or among the populace, do have the willingness, the perspective, the zeal to change Nigeria, the Nigerian name, okay, the name of the country, which is going to be very interesting because now, wow, I will love to see how interesting it is going to be when I don't have to call Nigerians Ninja. Ah, this is not be good thing. Oh, this is not going to be good. It's gonna be interesting when we do not have to refer to our Nigerian big brother, big sister Africans as Ninja. Usually, I'll talk to my Nigerian friends, Oga boy, Oga man, or Ninja woman. Perhaps I cannot use Ninja no more. Perhaps all I can use is the states. I might be like Warrigia, Lagos boy. That might be the only way. But knowing the name Nigeria, how romantic it has become in the African consciousness in terms of how we relate and interact with our Nigerian big brother, big sister. And I say it in that manner because Nigeria is one of those countries in Africa that all of us Africans, and particularly us West Africans, should refer to as big brother, big sister country. It is only disappointing that the Nigerian government doesn't realize the importance of Nigeria in Africa and in the world. Okay? The Nigerian government, because of whether we are talking about their inability or their lack of willingness, that Nigeria continues to punch below its weight. Nigeria has the population, it has the brain, it has the resources. It is in Africa, in a region that is, in terms of natural resources, is rich. Nigeria can mount an economy, create an economy that can rival any country in the world, in Europe. It has the population to create an internationally renowned football league. We have the Premier League. We have League One. We have the Bundesliga or whatever. All these leagues that Africans and people all over the world and in the global South basically try to emulate. Nigeria has the population, the money, and the brain to create their own that Africans, Nigerians, and many around the world will adore. They have the talent. Like Nigerians, they are different, man. Nigerians are from some planets. They're Africans from some planet. Like these guys are strange. But again, I want to say, man, if you are a Nigerian, I hope you make your voice heard. Okay, join the conversation. Perhaps Tinubu and his government and those who share his perspective change the Nigerian national anthem, okay, as a means to try to reset, to remake Nigeria. But if that is the case, then why fast track the system and the process? Why doing it in less than a week? Why preventing or disallowing the perspective of the masses, of every Nigerian? I feel like Nigeria as a country, as a people, should be conversing, should be in conversation, how to better the country, better themselves, and better Africa. Because I do believe strongly Africa is what it is today. Our people continue to suffer because country like Nigeria has not gotten its shit together. I do believe when Nigeria begin to get itself together, we will see a prosperous Africa. And because Nigeria doesn't get itself together, countries like South Africa is alone in terms of the voice of Africa. We saw that during the crisis in Ukraine last year when African leaders went to Ukraine and also to Russia. One is we have South Africa, Ramaphosa leading a delegation. And we are seeing with the court case against Israel, whether Israel is right or wrong, whether Palestine or the Palestinian people are right or wrong. The fact that South Africa, okay, stood alone and continue to stand alone in Africa, it is basically a result of countries like Nigeria not being able to punch at its weight or above its weight, not being able to find itself and assert itself in Africa and around the world. By right, Nigeria should be toe-to-toe with South Africa, bringing along countries like Ethiopia, bringing along countries like Kenya, Tanzania, okay, Ghana, Egypt, Morocco, Algeria, and Congo. We should never, as Africans, neglect to accept, to realize the importance of Congo. Congo is the middle, the heart of Africa, the brain of Africa, and it is the richest country in the world. The control of Congo by Africans will resurrect Africa. Once Nigeria, South Africa, and the rest of the African giants, the big brother, big sister Africa, or African countries, once they come together and begin to speak with one voice and say, we will control Congo, okay? Bring Congo in the African sphere and in the African consciousness. We will control what happens in Congo and not allow outsiders, outside countries, especially the former colonial quote unquote masters, to control Congo. When that happens, we will see a prosperous, peaceful, stable Africa. But for Nigeria, Nigeria hopefully needs, Nigeria hopefully can find itself. But in order for Nigeria to find itself, Nigerians all over the world and in Nigeria must join the conversation. Okay? So if you are a Nigerian, please join the conversation. Talk to your fellow Nigerians. Better Nigeria, because a better Nigeria will be beneficial for Africa. Now, I am not an expert. I am just an African, a man with a perspective, okay? And I dare engage in discussions pertaining to the various topics of geopolitics. Perhaps my perspective may be wrong. Perhaps it may be right. Perhaps you may love it, you may like it. Perhaps you may despise it. However, please tell me what you think. Tell me what I said wrong, what I could say right, what I could do to make my programs and my video better. But most importantly, please share the links with your friends and family. Watch it, engage in the discussions, okay? And thank you very much for watching The Echoing Voice. Peace.